Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fatal1ty League of Legends tournament. We are in the semifinals, game number 2 of Team Solo Mid up against Curse Gaming, and we're going to get that rocking for you here in just a bit. But, as promised, we had a Facebook competition going on, and our randomly selected winner by Fatal1ty himself is, I'm hoping saying it right, Jun Yi. I have your Facebook ID because you did answer the question. I'll be sending you a Facebook message later on to get an email from you. But Jun Yi, you have won yourself a headset as well as a Fatal1ty sound card, generously provided here by our sponsor Fatal1ty, as well as Sound Blaster. So congratulations to you. We're going to set up another tournament, guys. So if you want another chance at this headset as well as the sound card, realized I forgot to turn on Phantom Lord. Hi, Phantom Lord.
Hello. I can't find the game.
Just look at the chat. But the next question going up. There we go. And it will be hosted here by Fatal1ty. So again, if you want a headset and you want a Sound Blaster Fatal1ty card, you know, here's how you can do it. Go to facebook.com/Fatal1ty Gaming Gear and answer this question. Where can you find specials on Fatal1ty Gaming Gear during the League of Legends tournament? And I'm not too sure if I'm supposed to give the answer. Am I supposed to give him the answer? Let me ask Fatal1ty about that. But here's a big hint. It's one of our sponsors, and they deal with shipping out various video cards, motherboards. They do delivery all over the US, and yep, they're one of our sponsors. So go find out who you can have big deals on Fatal1ty gear, and you can post that up on the Facebook. I will post the Facebook into chat once I get it up here. Here we go, facebook.com Fatal1ty Gaming Gear. Bam, there you go. So go there, answer the question, random winner by the end of this match. You could win yourself another headset and Sound Blaster video, sound card. So congratulations, Jun Yi. You've won the first one of the day, joining our 4 contestant winners from yesterday. And can you still not find the game, Phantom Lord?
I'm trying to get it right now. It's just saying passwords do not match, so I think he changed it.
Nope, here, that's the password in verbatim. You should be able to get on with that. And yeah, as soon as you join the game, we will get this rolling. So, you know, $5,000 on the line. If TSM can take this, there you go, now you're in. If TSM can take this, and they will be moving on, securing themselves at least $2,000 in cash. Like, no prizes for them, cash. That's what they're going to be getting. We're going to get this match rolling. So game number 2, Team Solo Mid and Curse. They're going to be taking this away. Hopefully we won't have any kind of placeholders, but if they will, then obviously you'll see that on my screen. So Phantom Lord, I think that was a really good good effort there by Team Solo Mid at the end. What do you think we're going to see this round?
I think we might see the Curse understand, you know, if they do win all the lanes like they sort of did last game, with the exception of bottom lane, which is sort of a farm fest, we might see them do a little bit different plays as far as what to, you know, spend their time on. They did take Dragon there. They did lose a team fight and lost 2 Barons as a result of that snowball from Team Solo Mid. So they might play a little bit more intelligently at this level 1, so Shen or Crumbs does not get his jungle stolen. But yeah, I think, you know, once you play a team once and then this best of 3, you sort of learn what people do as far as playstyles. All of these players play each other quite frequently, so they know how, you know, each team plays. But Dyrus is a new addition to Team Solo Mid, so Curse might not be that prepared for it. But either way, we're going to take a look at the Bix and bans that are going out right now. We have Team Solo Mid on the blue side and Curse on the purple side. Looking at the first bans for Team Solo Mid, we have Kog'Maw, Aurelia, and Morgana. Kog'Maw, of course, is really strong AD. I have seen him played as an AP mid as well, and I know Nijaki can play AP Cog. It is very viable, but Team Solo Mid has decided to, you know, not let Kog'Maw in the game. They're also banning Aurelia. Of course, Probelter is really strong on Aurelia, and they're getting rid of Morgana as they did last game with the strength of her in the mid lane. So looking at the Curse's bans, we do have Urgot. Of course, Urgot the same As I said last time, Chaos has been playing quite a bit of Urgot, and there's no Janna ban going out from either side of the team. So instead of banning Janna, they're just going to be banning out Urgot. Urgot Janna is a really strong bottom lane. I like how these picks are coming out, where they just sort of change up how the flow goes. We will see bottom lane changed quite a bit here in the next patch with the lifesteal nerf and that new support. So it's nice to see the game changing and becoming a little bit newer and fresher with these adjustments. But they'll also get out Shyvana. Of course, she is a strong jungler, and Curse will be banning Shen because now Team Solo Mid has the first pick. So Team Solo Mid has taken Janna as their first pick. Of course, she was probably the most valuable pick to take as their first pick. First picks and second pick from either side of the team are so important. Of course, if blue side gets the first pick, they usually want to land those OP champions, or those champions that are just so versatile. Normally a really strong jungler, Shen or Janna. Those are usually the two picks that are taken as of right now. They don't want to get any of their solos or the AD role because they can get countered. So usually see the support and jungler done first. But take a look at Curse's picks. We do see the Udyr pick going out and the Rise pick for Nijaki. Nijaki, of course, wanting to seal the deal for that mid lane. We did see Cassiopeia was selected by Reginald, so I don't know if Nijaki assumes Reginald's going to be playing Cassiopeia or not, but there we see X Special has picked Cassiopeia, and yep, there Reginald is going to be playing Cassiopeia. So that's going to be a really interesting matchup there mid lane. Rise does sort of lose to Cassiopeia, so I don't know if that was the best pick by Nijaki. Of course, Cassiopeia is one of the strongest champions that Reginald does have in his roster, so there's going to be a lot of action there. We might see some commits and a little bit more than just farming as we saw last game. Of course, the Udyr pick from Curse, the first pick, might be going jungle or might be going top. We do not know. Of course, ProBelter and Crumbs can play both, so we will see here in the next few seconds what they do decide to pick. We do have a Lee Sin coming out on Team Solomon, so that can also be a top lane for Dyrus, or that can also be a jungle pick. A lot of these pro players have the ability to be so versatile as far as whatever picks they want to go to change up and sort of throw the other team off as far as what they would want to pick to maybe counter. But we do see the new Caitlyn for the bottom lane. They do know that Team Solomid has the Janna pick, so they are quite aware of what the support's capabilities are. And Nunu Caitlyn is almost like a safe bottom lane. Of course, Caitlyn does have her traps. Nunu does have his slow for his snowball, and does also have his blood boil to speed up in case they're getting ganked. So they can also be aggressive. Of course they can be aggressive if they choose to be, but that's sort of a safe bottom lane. If they do have Udyr as their jungler, then they won't really be trying to possibly get too many kills bottom lane, but maybe be farming up. And we do see Team Solomid on their last 4th and 5th pick, Dyrus may be playing Yorick. He's been really fond of that. Yorick and Cillian is a combo that's been used in the past, sort of like to cater to the AD. That ultimate just on the AD makes 2 auto attacks just so strong. And look at this. Are we going to see KX? Yes, we are going to see KX on Ashe. Ashe has always been a really strong champion to grant utility for the team. Of course, with her arrows coming outside of the line of vision, it takes really a huge reaction to be able to get away from that arrow, because you just will get stunned, and then the rest of the team will follow up, and the person stunned usually will die. And the last pick here coming out from Curse, we will see Cop most likely picking Gangplank for ProBelter top lane, so that might be, yes, we are going to see a Udyr jungle for Crumbs. Reginald, of course, will be on Cassiopeia. We're going to have bottom lane a Janna and Chaos on Ashe versus a Nunu Caitlyn bottom. Caitlyn is running the cleanse, and that is a vital summoner spell that Cop has to pick up for that arrow, because if he gets arrowed and Odd One is there to follow up with that gank, then Curse Cop will definitely fall down to his death. So take a look top lane. We do have Gangplank and Dyrus on Yorick. Both of the players for both are running teleport, and Dyrus also running teleport. So they are going to be not too aggressive on each other. They do have Flash as well, the standard spell that everyone uses. And take a look at the support. We do have X Special again running the Clairvoyance, just a favorable spell for Team Solo mid, and also running that Exhaust. So X Special not too worried about getting caught. He's going to have his ultimate to be able to save himself and reset a fight, and then the Tornado to, of course, save himself from any kind of aggression from any player. So great picks from both teams. I think Team Solo Mid has a little bit of an advantage as far as the late game composition, but I mean Curse has a really strong comp as well. I do think that Curse has a better early on, so we might see an invade from them. They might be trying to do what Team Solo Mid did to Crumb's last game by stealing his red, so Curse might do that to Odd One this game. But I like how these team comps are. It might be some similar turnout. Hopefully it's not. I do want to see Curse take this one, so we do see a best of 3 third match to decide who the winner will go on to advance in the final. I think my money's on Team Solo Mid here. What do you think, Jester?
Well, I'm just keeping tabs on the chat here, and apparently TSM was playing the Go for LoL earlier, and they lost against this exact comp that they're now running with the Ashe, the Yorick, and the Casio. So it's kind of interesting if that is indeed what they're now running, and they lost to it a little bit earlier. So I don't know. I'm a little excited to see TSM run this. Cassiopeia, of course, a really strong hero, and Dyrus can just throw his ultimate on top of her. If she dies in a team fight, doesn't matter, comes back to life, destroys everyone, they go home for tea. So I'm kind of excited to see that kind of combo go down, because I don't think I've ever quite seen that, but it sounds very intriguing. Now, of course, I would have loved to see a game number 3. That's the best kind of game that you can ever get out of a best of 3 series, but I think TSM showed that they have everything together now. Their heads are in the right space, and now they're going to be running this comp, so I'm very excited to see what they can do instead. So I guess it's our usual. We're kind of split on the decisions.
Yes, I do agree. I'm really interested to see if there's going to be any kind of level 1 from both teams. We have seen in the past that all these tournaments that come out, IM Kiev, Hanover, Germany, that level 1, if there are any first bloods or any sort of buff being stolen from a team, it just helps out the team that did steal or get that advantage so much. And because these people are playing for a lot of money, there's a lot on the line, they do have a lot of people watching. Yes, they might be used to it or not, but there's a lot on the line. They want to be playing sort of cautiously and not taking too many risks. So that snowball from that would start from the really from the early on, if they do get a first blood or they do get a buff, it's just going to help them out so well, because players aren't making all those risks to try and take an advantage back. They're waiting for the mid game, they're waiting for the dragon, and they're waiting for those Baron fights.
All right, so game number 2 about to go down here, guys. Place your bets. TSM versus Curse. Game number 2 of Team Solo Mid can come into this with a win. That means they have secured themselves at least $2,000, shooting for that 5. And Curse is going to have to go to the 3rd place match. So root for your favorites. We're going to get this rolling. Lee Sin rocking that Bruce Lee Sin skin, which I'm quite favorite too. And Gangplank looks pretty cool as a toy soldier. Now that NY Jackie skin on Rise, is that the Undead Rise?
Nope, that's the one I believe you get if you.
So that's Tournament Rise.
Yep, that's Tournament Rise.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I have been wrong before.
I've completely forgotten about that skin.
Yeah,
to be honest, you just reminded me of it. Like I've only seen it probably once. The Undead Rise.
It's not that.
It was only available around Halloween, but yeah.
But big thing to notice is we didn't have NY Jackie last round. We had Sidgo, who's not here.
Ah, this is true.
Yep. So
I will no longer have to mispronounce his name.
Psycho.
Thank God. Psycho. What are you doing, Psycho? We see, as I sort of expected here, Even though Team Solo Mid does have the clairvoyance, they aren't really as strong as the level 1 comp if they were to go 5v5, heads up right in a smaller area. And even though Curse does have a little bit of a stronger team comp at the start, they want to play passive because this is the game that they cannot lose. They need to win this one, or else they'll be eliminated and they won't be able to go into the finals to win that $5,000. So nice traps there from Caitlyn, completely blocking off that ramp. Team Solo Mid does see this. Reginald and Dyrus might try to snipe these raids. It has happened before. They just wait there, and when the jungler does start there's the clairvoyance. They know that Crumbs is starting there. Crumbs has no idea, and Reginald just wants to. Yep, he's just sending him away. He just wants to disrupt his time, wants him to be delayed, and that's going to be so strong for Team Solo Mid because Crumbs won't be able to do his normal pathing that he wants to do. He'll be slower, which won't allow him to make up as many ganks. And there his red does spawn. In the entire time, he can't have proper leash be done because the top and mid need to go to their lane, or else they will be at a disadvantage.
Okay, Curse throwing us a wild card. Check this out. Gangplank bottom to go up against the AD lane, and we threw the AD lane of Nunu Caitlyn top to go up against Dyrus. Are they fearing Dyrus that much?
I don't think that's a good decision because Dyrus can farm from a distance. So
can
I don't know about... Gangplank has a little bit of I think, more difficulty as far as doing that. But Probelter, of course, and Dyrus, they're both top players. They do understand what they're capable of. So, we should see which lane wins here in this 2v1. Which player, is it going to be Probelter or Dyrus that does better in the 2v1? We do see Dyrus popping an HP pot right away, and so is Probelter. So there's going to be a lot going on in both these lanes.
Indeed. Lee Sin started off red, about to pick up his blue, but Crumbs is back in town. He had that red, and he went immediately back. Looks like he picked himself up maybe an extra health potion. Yeah, he's just waiting for the gold to tick down. An extra health potion. So that timing of the disruption, or the disruption of the timing, it might cause a little bit of this early advantage to go towards Team Solo Mid. You can see Dyrus still getting heavy harass from this Nunu Caitlyn lane, and I mean that's well within their right. They have that opportunity. Caitlyn's very long range, and with the Blood Boil and snowballs, I mean Dyrus is just going to have to be constantly popping these health pods, despite how much health he can get back from his ghosts.
Yeah, he's now down to 2 HP pots. He has taken a lot of damage from Curse Cup on Caitlyn, and he needs to level up as fast as he can so that he can get more lifesteal off of his ability. But he's just going to be harassed on top of the tower. As we see, bottom lane, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Probelter taking aggression on top of the tower. Janna X-Special has been leaving quite a bit. And I think Probelter has recognized this because they did have a ward in the mid lane, and Nijaki did ping to tell Probelter bottom, hey, Janna is leaving the lane. You're going 1v1. You don't have to play as passive. Dyrus beat back to base and is going to be using his teleport. I did forget that, but he does have his teleport to get back to lane, so he's not too worried about losing too much CS. He did buy his boots and 2 HP pots. But look at this. We do have Crumbs really deep in Team Solo Mid's jungle. He's going to find Oddwin and see what he's going to be doing here.
He's going to be throwing out at least a little bit harassed with that Phoenix stance, goes into Bear. Now, we did get the Wolf, so Oddwin's not too concerned. But yeah, Crumbs with the counter, and Nunu always coming down here as well, checking out this blue. He's not exactly staying in lane a lot, and you can see Curse Cop now up to level 4, only 3 for elements. As long as he keeps up that Blood Boil, I'm sure that Caitlyn is quite okay to get that extra boost and experience. And, Dyrus, he is still feeling that pain. He has the armor, and he had to get those health pots. Now, Probelter hasn't exactly left either, but he is rocking that teleport as well, so when he does go back, he can get back in fairly short order. Now, it's kind of more of a passive lane. I mean, we had Crumbs come in for a little bit of fun, but now it just looks like he's going back to his own jungle. Odd one to back down by this red as well. Now, this top turret is almost to that half health mark. Similar idea down here for Curse as well, so we're going to probably see turrets go down before kills.
Well, take a look at mid lane. We do have Reginald being really aggressive against Nijaki. Of course, he does have that blue. That was given to him by Oddwin on Lee Sin. Lee Sin does not need blue, but look at this top lane. Oddwin really close to the wall. He's going to jump to Dyrus. Elements is forced to flash out right away, and they are going to keep tabs on that, knowing that Elements does not have the ability to escape. So we might see another gank there soon in the future by Odd1. Again, mid lane, Nijaki taking a lot of damage from Reginald, just so strong with those poke from a distance. And, you know, Nijaki is falling behind in CS. We have 20 CS to Reginald's 35. So that's 2 waves practically that Nijaki has lost because of the aggression from Reginald.
Now, Pobelter's finally headed back to town, spent some of that hard-earned cash, a lot of health potions coming out, but as well, the Ninja Tabbies, so he's going for that longevity, which is, well, his best bet at this point, especially against an Ashe. And, yeah, Curse Cop's still up here. Elements did go back, has a whole bunch of wards now, so I suspect they're going to be warding the blue since he keeps ducking down there. He just keeps going out of this lane down here to the blue, so I do suspect something to come out of there. Crumbs is heading out up top as well, so we might actually see some big aggression from Dyrus, or at least on this top half of the map. And Reginald kind of looks alone in that mid. NY Jackie now forced back, and he's just going to shove the lane a bit, deny those creeps, and go on back himself.
It's a really great job there by Reginald, pushing the lane. It's always smart when you're going in a matchup to really keep tabs on the player you're facing. If you assume that he's backing back to base, and you know a wave is coming pretty soon, you should be instantly responding to you know, do a few things. You can either push the lane really hard so that his tower will kill your minions and he'll lose that wave and that XP, which you will have gained by taking it down really quickly, or you can take the advantage because he's gone and you don't have that, you know, pressure because of, you know, being positioned of the enemy jungler or him in the lane. You can go and counter jungler, you can go take his race, you can go and leave as well and pretend to back out to base, but instead go to another lane and you know, gank them if you do so choose to. But top lane, we do have that tower that just fell down, so I wonder if we're going to see Pobelter swap and go back to top lane.
Odd1 running right past NY Jackie, kicks him right through, but the flash is going to bring him to safety. Threw out the exhaust as well. So, unfortunately, that was both of Odd1's abilities right there. So, NY Jackie, not too sure why he decided to come down here. Pobelter wasn't really making a lot of progress one-on-one with Chaos, who has not actually left lane yet, still rocking only the boots. But yeah, Dyrus is now losing that safety of his tower, and I gotta say, Curse gotta be feeling really good so far. Up 1 tower to 0, you know, about 400, 500 gold difference. My prediction came, so I'm pretty happy. Towers before kills.
I do think we're going to see a little bit of a similarity from last game where you know, Team Silverman took an advantage and then snowball off of that. Curse, look at here, they're taking Dragon, and this is going to help them out so much. They did take the Dragons from last game, but they're going to be on top of this. They did push that top tower, so they know that Dyrus is wanting to stay there and take that CS.
Oh! So close.
So close, but nope. Did not make it.
We threw out the arrow and the tornado trying to secure that, but no, it will be going to Curse. So they're up 1 Dragon, 9-minute Dragon. That's a fairly decently early Dragon, at least compared to our last game, which I think our first one was like 18 minutes or something. It was a long time until that Dragon fell. So we're going to see the Dragon pop up around, you know, 15 minutes or so, and it does look like finally Ashe heading back. Goes straight for the Zeal and the Doran, so no kind of BF sword or anything. Dyrus, however, is now going one-on-one against Pobelter, so it does look like the lanes will swap. Now that Dyrus is down that tower, Curse feels comfortable by putting their solo out here, and that's got to be excellent news to Pobelter because he's a little starved at this point. He's at 53 creep kills, which is cool, but so is Yorick. He's at 56. But check out, you know, Ashe 67. We got Caitlyn here at 83. She is far and ahead of everyone else at this point.
Look at all those wards in Curse's inventory. You know, they took that Dragon gold for the team, 190 gold across, and really have realized that, you know, map control is so important, and each player, instead of Caitlyn, with the exception of Caitlyn, has purchased a ward, so they're really going to be trying to claim the map in these next few minutes. I'm interested to see if Crumbs might get an Oracle and might run around the map. They do have Dragon down, so there's no real worry to do anything crazy at this point. We might see Curse Cop and Elements bottom lane try and take that tower to secure another tower and get that gold for the team. They are pushing up really far, but we do have Odd1 creeping really close by, so you might have a play there by Team Solo Mid.
Yeah, we do got Odd One. You know, he's gonna try. We'll see what he can do. If he can safeguard in with Hadoken, it could be cool, but it does not look like anything's gonna go down. Dyrus and Bobelter in a one-on-one death match as the toy soldier has pushed back a little bit at least. Dyrus, you know, with a tier, and is that gonna become a mana mune after this?
Could be. It's not too uncommon. Dyrus sometimes does like to, you know, build damage York, but most of the time he likes to build tanky York through, I've seen. York is a champion that is able to build into several different builds, depending on who his matchup is, who the enemy team has on their lineup as far as the champions that they're playing. But, you know, Dyrus has been known to do these interesting builds and really come through with some new stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is built. Taking a look at mid lane, we have a lot of aggression still coming out by Cassiopeia. Probelter coming in just to put a little aggression. He doesn't really care that you know, he's a little bit lower health than Reginald. He's just going to walk in and take a shot at Reggie. Reggie pops an HP pot, even though he's got enough HP. So that's an interesting move by him. But taking a look at the CS count, Reggie is 1 CS away from 100. And look at that, he turns his ultimate, pops onto Nightjackie. Probelter ult in exchange, starts following. Is it going to be enough damage? Oh, goodness.
Well, he gets the safeguard in from Odd One. Can Odd One do this? We do have another ward that he could use to gain a little bit of distance, but it does look like Probelter's not going to go that way. Eats an orange, is K. Odd One's going to give that up. Crumbs in the background, but 2-on-1. Reginald, very aggressive. And without that flash, he would not have been able to get away out of that one. Very lucky that his ultimate actually did turn Jackie to stone. Otherwise, a rune prison definitely could have been a very different situation right there. But no kills. Crumbs now with the oracles, cleaning up some of these wards, and you can see this top half now very empty from wards, as Crumbs does do a lot of work with that oracles. And now he's just going to chase off Dyrus, who's come mid with a new chain vest.
It's nice to see Reginald stepping up from that last game. You can totally tell the confidence he has with Cassiopeia over his Rise play. And you know, that's why they always say for solo queue and any sort of match, if you want to pick a counter and you know you'll be able to counter that matchup and it'll be helpful for your team, you actually might do a worse job and not be able to provide as much as you would if you're playing your best champ. So, you know, we could see Reginald is 10 times more confident on Cassiopeia than he is Rise. I do believe I have heard him say over stream once that he is not too confident with his Rise. He needs to practice it more, and he has played it quite a bit in solo queue.
Alright, Crumbs is still looking for some of those wards. Has now cleared out basically every single ward from Team Solo Mid, but he is going to run right into Dyrus. Great tornado, throws him a loop, but unfortunately there's just does not seem to be enough to follow that up. Big shields coming out for Dyrus as he is get caught a little bit, and we're going to throw in another ward there from Elements. Make sure we keep that vision. Now we have lost our bottom lane tower, and TSM did, well, they did try to take one of their own, so the tower count is 2-1. Pobelter's still pushing that top. Dyrus has now gone up there to meet him, going to be trying to avoid as much damage as he can, and Chaos is going to be in for a little bit of farming down in the bottom lane.
I really like how this this risk by Curse at the start to, you know, put their AD and support top lane and put Probelter bottom lane. It looks like Probelter has done a little bit of a better job maintaining his lane. Of course, he does have the sustain with his orange, as well as York. Dyrus, you know, having his lifesteal with his little ghoul. So, and then obviously after they took that tower at the start, they made Probelter go top, and he's just, look at his CS, he's at 105. They're coming mid, they're trying to do some aggression to Reggie. Reggie, great job, you know, turning around. He knew that they didn't have him in the best position, so he turned around, just was able to do enough poke. But yeah, Probelter's at 105 CS, and you know, Dyrus is close by, but look at this. Curse is aware of the Dragon Timer.
Yep.
They're grouping up. They see that Dyrus is top. They know Dyrus has teleport. Dyrus is backing. He doesn't have that much mana, and there's going to be no contest at all from Team Solo Mid. for that dragon that Curse just took.
The problem with the teleport is because Crumbs have been running around with the oracles is we have nothing to teleport to in the immediate vicinity. So very confident to take that dragon. That's going to be putting them up 2-0 in terms of the global gold. So, and you can see it's about 3k difference at this point. We should see another dragon around 21 minutes. And I'm fairly sure that all these teams know how to count a dragon timer by now. So Clairvoyant's catching him, nothing to do about it. Still no kills on the board, 16 minutes in. It's some pretty passive play. Reminds me of our last game, although Reginald was 0-2 by this point. So that's an improvement for him this round.
Probelter top lane is just going to be farming really hard. And if Team Solomid does not group up and try and take an objective here, of course they've let 2 dragons go. Probelter getting really dangerously far into trying to catch a special, but he instead gets caught. There's the exhaust on him. He pops his ult, he pops his flash, and he'll get away.
Oh my.
But wow, he went a little bit too far in. Needs to be careful. Does not have that bush warded, so he wasn't aware of what he was walking into, but he got away safely. But as a result, all of his summoners are popped.
Oh no, could be a nice reversal on an odd one. Nope, safeguards out. Never mind. But this bottom lane from Curse, they're doing their job. They're pushing that bottom lane all the way to the tower. Then they're coming here to mid to cover the lanes that NY Jockey had to roam top to help support Pobelter. So they're just going to keep accumulating this farm, and you can see that it's really working very well for Caitlyn at 166 creeps at this point. She does have a Dorns, the double Dorns and the BF sword, but taking a quick look at her goal, she has almost 2,000 banked at this point. She's far and ahead everyone in terms of the gold count. So we're going to see some kind of really big purchases from her, probably before this 20-minute mark, maybe even before we kill something.
Look at the confidence of Probelter. He's also sitting on 2k gold top lane. He does have those 2 wards, one on the spiral to the river from the opposite side of the blue, and also on the blue bush, so he can see if anyone is creeping up towards him in that mid lane. And he decided just to stay there, farm a little bit. Now he's going to back out, and he's going to be spending that 2,000 gold that he has saved up. So Team Solomid, they really need to group up here and take an objective. As I said, they're pretty much just roaming around right now and farming. They may try to do what they did last game. They didn't take those dragon objectives. We're seeing like a rinse and repeat of exactly what happened in the last game. And Curse taking those objectives, they were ahead, but then they failed in the team fights. Just were not able to pick up their feet from having that disadvantage that Team Solomid was able to get.
Well, it looks like Dyrus should be fairly close to picking up the last pieces of his Frozen Heart, because he does have that Glacial now, and he's really just feeding this Tear of the Goddess. It's up to 352 mana at this point. Reginald going to be heading to town and probably getting that Will of the Ancients. He has that Hex Tech. Let's see. Nope, he's going to sell the health potions. Okay, cool. And get himself that giant spout. So maybe the Rylai's instead. So that's cool. That's alright. Curse Cop now up to 190 creeps. Pretty ridiculous. He's on this huge farming binge. He has himself that Infinity Edge now as well. And it does look like Udyr is getting fairly close to a wit's end at this point. So yes, we might have a third dragon spawn before we have a kill. And Dyrus and Pobelter is going to be like the fight that never ends in this top lane. They just keep going back and forth and nothing coming out of it.
Curse does know the blue timer, and they're going to be coming around here, and this spawn as we see, so we might have some kind of contest. Crumbs does have an Oracle as well as Odd One, so they're both exchanging wards, and Curse is just going to dive into. Probelter's going to start right away on it, but we do see an ultimate out on Nunu.
Big arrow coming in, hitting Pobelter. Odd One is going to be dropping maybe for the first blood, but he gets the safeguard off. And it will be Crumbs picking up the first blood on top of that. Lee Sin does look like Nunu dropping. Chaos taking some big damage from NY Jackie, but he's able to flash on out of that. NY Jackie will instead drop to Reginald for a triple kill. He takes down Pobelter as well as NY Jackie. And I'm not too sure who else he killed, but there's only 3 people dead, so it must have been Elements. And Curse Crumbs has to run with the tail between his legs. I don't even think Caitlyn was there, but there we go. Nope. Some kills on the board. Reginald picking up all 3.
Yeah, Team Solomid, they grouped up, and they saw that Curse was there. They saw that they wanted Curse wanted to take that blue buff, and they did a really great job grouping up, taking that fight to them because they knew where Caitlyn was. Caitlyn was still bottom, still farming. Ashe, of course, shot her arrow up, so Chaos was communicating on vent, most likely saying, "Oh, arrow's heading up," and they did win from that team fight, and that's exactly what they needed. They're still not ahead in gold because they do not have as many towers. They do have 2 towers to 1 at the moment, but they are also losing in Dragons. So we might see another play like that come soon from Team Solomid. That's what we saw the first game. That's what they're really good at. And Xpecial getting caught out here a little bit.
Oh, he's going to switch targets to Reginald. Here comes the Elements with the snowball, and here comes an ultimate. Nope, it's not going to be enough. Odd One getting in the way out of that. So Reginald not going to be going down. Dyrus, did he blow a teleport to get down here? Yes, he did. And, that's good reaction time out of Dyrus coming in to support because we do not want Reginald to go down. He has those 3 kills, man. He needs to have that flawless record. But 3-1 still. I think another turret went down. Saw a turret come up.
Nope. Bottom lane, yep.
Okay, yeah, that's why. Yeah, so Curse finally losing that bottom tower. Only one left is this top. It's about half health, no problem. Dragon, hello, you've spawned. Dyrus is going to go and turn you into some kind of freaky zombie. Or not, he's going to go run the other way. Okay, fine. 3-1, 27 to 29k gold, and as you can see, Curse still in the lead with it. But it's closing. It's closing. TSM's doing work.
Yeah, we have to pay a lot of close attention to Reginald now in these next few minutes. He's going to be doing a lot for Team Solomon. He's going to be able to output a lot of damage. He does have those that 3 kills and a Will of the Ancient, so if he's not completely targeted in a team fight and bursted down, he'll just be able to sit back and output a lot of damage. He does have that blue buff, so Curse in a really bad position here. They're in such a close quarters. Yeah, Reginald just going to be popping so many spells trying to get as much damage, and I think Curse is going to give up that dragon and instead push mid lane and take this tower.
It's probably the best decision that they can do at this point. There's nothing they can do to stop it, and yeah, this tower is like made of clay or something because it's going to go down. But no, Caitlyn cleanses straight out of that arrow. Maybe a little bit too premature, but hey, she got out. She's safe. We threw down the ultimate from the gangplank, so I would say TSM mission accomplished right there. 1 arrow provokes a cleanse and an ultimate that does not land, and we cannot get the Hadoken off onto Curse Cop, so they will retreat, but global gold for global gold. Dragons down should be up around the 29-minute mark, and back to farming minions, I guess.
It's a really interesting how Team Solomon did not have any map control at all. We're just playing, and it seemed like they were like losing the game, but after 1 play around the blue buff that Curse contested, they Reginald got 3 kills, and now they've completely grouped up together. They're making opportunities for the team. They're jumping onto anyone that's close by. We saw the arrow being shot out onto Curse Cop, which he did cleanse out, and as you said, they did bait that gameplay call. So they're doing a really great job optimizing their play. They're not just standing around. They know they have the advantage now as far as positioning and aggression. And if they do go 5v5 in a team fight, Team Solomon does have a stronger team against Curse if they really were going to confine down to it. Nijaki looking at 144 CS. He has 1 assist. That's it. But Reginald has 185, 3 kills. Most likely going to be building that rise. And look at this, Team Solomid. They're baiting that dragon.
Yeah, they're just hanging out. Nope. Whoa, that was a weird arrow, but it does not land on top of Gangplank. Could have been a very different situation. Ultimate coming out from Reginald as well. The Pole Belcher will drop to the pressure. Reginald now up 4-0 for those kills. A lot of damage landing on the TSM team, including an ultimate that Dyrus, for some reason, takes the bullet for. And it does look like, yeah, they're not going to try this Baron. They're just going to head on home. But hey, they're up 4-0 in the last 2 team fights. 4-1 in the last 2 team fights. Infinity Edge for Ashe. Aegis of the Legion for Yorick. Clairvoyance going down, catching crumbs. Dance for the camera, crumbs. But yeah.
So it does look like Dyrus is going to be building sort of a support Yorick. Yorick does have his ultimate that he can clone the AD on his team, so 2 of Chaos with 2 Infinity Edges going out. That's gonna be a lot of damage coming out from Team Solomid in a team fight. And wow, what a great play! Just going back a little bit to what they did in that Baron pit. They knew X-Special had that Oracle, they knew that Curse had no vision of that area, so they just sat there. Probelter walked around the wall. Of course, Chaos did miss his arrow, so that was a little bit unfortunate, but they were still able to follow through. They committed as a team, the call was made, and they were able to take that kill from Probelter.
I initially thought that the arrow actually glitched out because it looked like, at least on my screen, that Chaos was looking to the right, and then all of a sudden an arrow coming out through the left. But
yeah,
there was a Probelter there, so I'm not totally crazy. That's good to know.
I saw that too.
So, okay, good. Whew. All right, we're going to be throwing out that Crystal Hawk. Are going to find people hiding in that bush. And it does look like another Baron Central fight will be going off. Reginald's going to start it off. Okay. I don't think he meant to do that.
No, he didn't mean to. When you get trapped and you're not holding down your hold auto attack or hold position, you're going to attack the nearest target. That's what Reginald did. He hit auto attacked Baron, and Baron leashed onto him. So he took a little bit of damage, but it's not going to matter. He has his Will the Ancients, and he now has his Rileys. So.
Yeah, he picked that up. He stayed in base for about an extra 5-10 seconds, picked it up. Good pickup, in my opinion. Lots of poison to go down, lots of slowing. Here comes the ultimate from our Gangplank. It is going to be the signal to back off a little bit. And, okay, we're going to jump onto Crumbs. Darius is going to be leading the pack here, but a lot of damage landing on top of him. Odd One coming in, but no, I think Probelter actually flashed over to Reginald, trying to take him out. Great ultimate, stopping elements from actually casting his. Reginald will get a kill before going down. Shut down indeed, but it is going to be Udyr dropping. It does look like we have lost NY Jackie. Ash picking up that one, but did we not get a zombification onto Reginald? I guess we didn't. Okay, so no zombie snake going to be around, but that's okay. They're going to pick up 4 of the Curse crew anyways. All they had to do was pay for it with Reginald, and this could be a Baron, but we're kind of low health. What do you think?
They're definitely going to Baron here. They have the ability to swap between each player and, have someone tank and then life still up and then vice versa go back. So, wow, that was such a great team fight there by Team Solo Mid. They just have such strong synergy between all the players. Probelter came in and instantly got pushed away by X-Special. You saw Elements on Nunu popping his ultimate, instantly getting denied and pushed away by Odd One. So just a lot of clutch plays and moves there by Team Solo Mid to really come ahead in that team fight. And interesting enough, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was 2 wards placed down in that little bush there that Team Solo Mid was kind of going in and out of. So that little mini bush is just so important. It can change the outcome of a fight, because if someone walks into it, you'll lose vision. And Curse did threw 2 wards in there and then a ward in the bottom bush to really maintain vision of the fight. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and Team Solo Mid just simply outplayed them.
Indeed, 8-2 now is the score, but despite the kill difference, the global gold advantage is, as well as just the farming machine known as Caitlyn, 275 creeps, my goodness. She, the money is really not that different. It's about 500 gold difference, despite these differences. Yeah, we have a very even game. So don't let that kill count fool you guys. It might actually damage the psyche of Curse, because now they have not won any of the team fights to date, and it took us a long time to get those team fights going. So, their mindset might be a little bit damaged, but at this point, in terms of mechanics, we're pretty even.
And Team Solo Mid's going to take that dragon with no worries. It's sort of a repeat of last game, the game 1 that we saw, where they, of course, took the Light of Revenge, then started claiming the map, taking all the buffs for himself. Of course, they had 2 great team fights, one at Blue and then that last one at Baron, to really give themselves a disadvantage. But yes, as you said, Jester, this isn't over yet. The gold count is still really close. We do have a lot of farm on Caitlyn, 280 CS. So she's going to be outputting a lot of damage, and hopefully, I think, I would wish that Curse could initiate a fight here. We haven't really seen them do it yet. Both major fights have been initiated by Team Solo Mid. That can actually be the differentiator and the deciding factor as to who wins that team fight.
So split pushing a little bit here with the Baron. Dyrus is going to take that top turret. It is going to be Crumbs picking up the red, so it is going to be a 4-on-4 if something happens here in the middle. Does look like he will be responding to this Dyrus push because he's not letting up whatsoever. Does look like we're going to transition to this bottom lane. Reginald leading the pack, as well as Odd1 just jumping in there. They could get this turret before the cavalry comes in, and it does look like it will be destroyed. So 4-3 now the turret count for Team Solo Mid. They're up about 3,000, so the gold lead is slightly widening at this point, but we still have a little over a minute, maybe a minute and a half on this Baron for them to use. So if they're going to be doing something, they got to do it in this next few moments.
And Dyrus does have teleport up, so he's going to be just pushing top while the rest of his team roam around the map. You see, they just did take that tower. So Team Solo Mid knows that technically they have all 5 members as one while roaming around. We do see ProBelter doesn't have his teleport up, so he is not going to be able to do that for the next couple of seconds. And we might see a play here by Team Solo Mid pretty soon. Dyrus is coming down. They are aware of this. They do have sight of him. Crumbs is chasing with ProBelter, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Of course, Dyrus has his ghouls to slow. And look at this. Team Solo Mid is going to respawn back to bottom lane, so we're going to see all 4 members down there. Most likely this will be a team fight initiated by Curse. We do see Dyrus teleporting in now.
And the turret's going to become bait, but Reginald is going to be going down. Kurskop picking up the kill right there. We do have this ultimate from Gangplank just smacking people around. Chaos is now a big target. Flash, exhaust, another ultimate from Elements not going off unless he just wanted it for the slow. But we do block out the damage from Kurskop, and now TSM is retaliating hardcore. They've lost their leader, the head to the snake, so to speak, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, and they will get this inhibitor. Baron is now worn off, so perfect timing basically on them. Dyrus eating a trap, and quite a few from this machine gun that is Caitlyn, but it's not going to matter. 9-3 right now. This bottom lane is now, the damage is done. We might be able to take this mid tower. No, we're not going to bother. We're just going to go on back. We got 10 seconds till Reginald's up. 5-2 on Reginald, and basically the only keeper to the keys. Ashe is now up to 3-0 though. Very strong play. A lot of 0 deaths on top of TSM at this point.
Yes, indeed. They've been really keen on their positioning. They haven't gotten any sort of ganks off. The Curse hasn't gotten any successful ganks off to really cause those advantages for the team. But of course, they were able to take those dragons, so they didn't really think they needed any of those ganks. And Dragon is a little bit more important than getting ganks because it gives your team that global gold as opposed to the people who are just involved in that gank. But taking a look at the back, a little bit back at that previous team fight, Odd1 just doing a phenomenal job watching Elements for when he was going to ult, and just a repeat of last time. Ulting Elements as soon as he started channeling his ult on Nunu, completely denied. Dyrus also doing a fantastic job ulting Reggie, but look at mid lane. We do have an ultimate going out on Cop from Ashe, but he's going to cleanse that. And Nijaki is most likely going to fall down here. Yep, this is too much damage. He can't run away. And Team Samolid are going to steamroll through and most likely take this inhib.
Looks like Cleanse was definitely the right summoner choice for Kurskop, but staying in the back with that Blood Boil, he might be able to throw out these deeps every now and then, but it does not seem to matter. The powerhouse that is Team Solo Mid is going to take their second inhibitor, and we only have that 1 tower left in this top lane. It does look like it is going to be on the chop block. But first of all, we're going to try to take out ProBelter and Crumbs. Crumbs definitely going to be dropping great ultimates and use of the Lee Sin abilities to pick that one up. And every team member was involved in that one. They all got an assist. And, Chaos picking up another kill. We're going to tank this tower. We're going to get ourselves super minions. And then Curse is going to be in a bit of a sticky situation.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to get back with 3 inhibs down. ProBelter inside it, Team Solo Mid taking a lot of damage. He's going to flash out to survive, and Reginald falling really low is slowed by Nunu. Nijaki trying to come up close, and Dyrus does ult Reginald. X-Special taking ult from Caitlyn, but does make it away. Odd1 being left by his team. X-Special coming back as a bro, like a bro to save him, but it isn't enough. Odd1 does fall down, and they got 3 inhibs from that, so they're not too worried. Look at all these super minions in the base of Curse. ProBelter is trying his best to do something about it, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for these guys. All the buffs on the map, but we do see Baron just spawn So they're going to roll over. Team Solo Mid are going to take this with no pressure at all. And this looks really grim for Curse right now.
It's gonna be Team Solo Mid's, you know. Oh my goodness, we got Pobelter with the teleport going for the steal, but he does not get it. He just gets pushed out by X Special. Excellent work on his part, just denying them that Baron snipe. But yes, it is a very sticky situation. With 3 inhibs down, Curse really cannot afford to leave their base, because these lanes are just going to be pushed so much. I mean, you can see Cop holding down top, and you got Crumbs in the mid, and you got NY Jackie holding down that bottom. Right now, Pobelter is going to use that teleport to pick up himself the red, at least denying that much to Team Solo Mid. But, you know, they go back to town, and look at all these new item pickups. Frozen Heart, a Locket of the Iron Solari. We have Ash with the Wriggles. A little late, but okay. And a Last Whisper picked up on the counter here for Caitlyn. We already had that Last Whisper for Ash. Overall, though, I mean, people were saying before this game started, TSM lost to this comp in Go for LoL, you know, exactly, and it looks like they've learned how to use it, at least up against Curse. Very potent. Oh my, that's an arrow. We do not have a cleanse here for Curse Cop, and that will be her first death of the game. And this will very likely be a turret and a Nexus, and Team Solo Mid moving on to the finals, securing themselves at least $2,000 from the Fatal1ty organization. And that will be it. Curse will have to move to the 3rd place game. They will be getting themselves at least some swag, depending on if they get 3rd place or 4th, will be those power supplies or those motherboards. But Team Solo Mid will be moving on to face whoever won the other games. And we're going to have to go check in with them. And that will be Monomatic Esports as well as Just Your Average Joes. So, very strong showing, TSM 2-0.
Yes, indeed. Team Solo Mid, both games back-to-back played really well. Had a little bit of a disadvantage. I believe they've said a few times that Dragon isn't really that important. Or is that's CLG, actually. But, like, almost adopting that philosophy, just not really worrying too much about it. Grouping up as a team, really winning those team fights, and just having that synergy to pull ahead. And they did that both games and did a really good job, and they've won as a result. So they are indeed going to advance, and we should see some more good action, almost identical play from them in the future.
All right, guys, so we will have to take a quick little break, find out what the status is of the other games. If we can stream one of them, great, we'll bring that up. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into the finals, or we might just have a little bit of a break as we got to wait for them. We do have a winner for the Facebook contest. We will be putting up another one, so stay tuned. You might have won yourself a headset and sound card combination, but this is FourCourtJester and Phantom Lord. You are sitting on the Fatal1ty Grand Finals. TSM now advancing to the Grand Finals for a chance at $5,000. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Facebook contests, maybe get Fatal1ty up here, and possibly more games. Okay, definitely more games. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.